AVC, it is old metal rocker 66 here, and I have another What's Spinning update here. I don't know, maybe 15 albums, few CDs I've been listening to over the last couple weeks. We'll start off with the CDs here. And Where Evil Follows. This is a new release, Ruination Revelation. This is with Toby Knapp on guitars. Kind of a new wave of speed metal, but Toby Knapp has also been in Onward and a few other bands put out by Stormspell Records. I just picked this up excuse me, a couple weeks ago. Really good. I highly, if you're a fan of newer speed metal, if you're a fan of Toby Knapp, pick this up. This is out it's out on Stormspell, so easy, decent price. Go pick it up. I liked it so much I went and picked up the first one, which was from 2015, and of course just as good. This is called Portable Darkness, and this is on Moribund Records. They're out of I think the northwest part of the U.S., Washington State, I believe. And yeah, they're from Port Orchard, Washington. That's where the label is. But killer stuff, old school speed metal, but has a newer vibe to it. Still good. Killer stuff. And then I picked up this Fatal Violence. This is a band out of the 80s. They only did like 2 demos. And but this is part of the Stormspell. I believe it's a Stormspell, Beyond the Arcane. And this is number 14. And this is Fatal Violence with Ashes Tell No Tales. This is absolutely killer. It has 2 live tracks from 88. And a lot of this stuff is from 85, demo 1, 87, demo 2, and then they have some live material. Thrashy, heavy metal, just a mix of killer stuff. I don't know why they never made it any bigger, but these guys were good. Yeah, volume 14, killer stuff. And then I picked up the new Lycanthro, Remnants of Rapture. Nope, these guys have no vinyls. They're out of Canada, I believe out of Toronto, right in that area. I believe that's where they're from. Anyway, they're from Canada. Third album. Power metal, heavy metal, maybe epic metal at times. Third CD. It's on Psychomentium Records. That's a new one to me. And then a band out of Denmark, new release, Wanton Attack. It's supposed to be kind of new wave of traditional heavy metal-ish. And they do have that vibe with it. This is out on No Remorse Records. Brenande Jord. I believe this is a concept album of some type of war. Well, it's about World War II, I believe. And what happened in Denmark in them days of World War II and stuff. But anyway, check them out. And then we have the vinyl. This is the 40th anniversary release of Glacier's, what did I say, 85 release? Yeah, 40 years. But it's out on High Roller Records. It's on blue vinyl. Sounds killer. You can go over to the Bandcamp and buy these, I think, fairly decent price. I don't know how many there are, but 5 tracks, classic, mid-80s heavy metal. And they did put a lot out. They are together. They did put out an album here a couple years back. I can't remember the name of it right offhand. But glad to have this. And then I was kind of going back into the Annihilator catalog and pulled out the Suicide Society. I believe this is the one right after when Randy Rampage, or not Randy Rampage, but Dave Padden was with them, I believe, 4 albums, and then he left. But you can still hear that more of the modern metal influence a little bit in this. To me, Dave Padden took a lot to get used to as far as a vocalist for Annihilator. It wasn't one of my favorite Annihilator vocalist, but he got better as they progressed. And but this is actually a 3-piece. Jeff Waters on vocals. Let's see, when did this come out? 2015, so it's 10 years old now. Then I picked up this Anvil Chorus, been spinning this, one and only. This comes with, actually, it comes with a 7-inch too, that I added in the back of this. I think these guys are from 87, if I'm not mistaken. 85, 87 in there. Originally, 2000, well, actually I was wrong. 2013. But straightforward heavy metal, old school sounding. Some German thrash from Assassin. This is their 3rd release from 2015, Combat Cathedral. Their first 2 albums are absolutely classic. Trying to think of the Assassin, I believe one of them. Can't think of them right offhand. But this one is really good too. It's out on the UDR label. SPV, UDR, red vinyl, killer thrash. And then I went back into Death Angel's catalog and pulled out Frolic Through the Park. Haven't heard this in quite a while. It's on red vinyl, put out by Metal Blade. This is a re-release. I think this came out in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. The original, I think, was, what, 85? But it sounds good. And then I wanted to hear some German power metal, heavy metal, maybe thrashy at times, kind of a mix from Mystic Prophecy and War Brigade. And this is really good. This is out on Massacre Records. This is just black vinyl. Black vinyl to me is kind of the rare ones nowadays. But this came out in 2016. I have 437 of 500, so I don't even know if you can pick these up. Maybe eBay, Discogs maybe, but I'm glad to have this. I think, what is that? Not sure what number that is in their catalog, but and then I went back into listened to some Bullet with Dust to Gold. This came out, God, almost 10 years ago now, I believe. Just about. It's on Steamhammer. I think this is the last, I believe, the last full-length album they put out. It's a double album set. Killer. New wave of traditional heavy metal, classic heavy metal, if you like Enforcer, bands like that. You'll like Bullet. I think they have like 4 albums out, 3 albums, somewhere in there, but killer stuff. And then I went into Neighbors Up North and pulled out some Striker, Play to Win. It's one of my favorite albums. Not the favorite, but it's right up there. This was, I think this came out in 2015 as well. Doesn't say, I don't remember what year. Let's see here. 2010, so it's 15 years now. This is kind of independently released by the band. The government of Canada kind of helped them out with releasing. They have done Kickstarter programs, which I have done with them. Their latest release was a Kickstarter, but yeah, this band is kind of one of the early entries into the new wave of traditional heavy metal that kind of focused on keeping the British sound going, but in a newer sense. And this is one of the early bands of that sound, and still are today, but killer stuff. And then out of Austria, excuse me, my horse over the last couple years, excuse me, it's Sunday morning and it's we just had a storm come rolling through. Anyway, my throat has been hoarse for quite a while now. You know, it's just part of getting old, I think. But let me try to clear it here. Sunny now, but it's going to get hot and muggy again this afternoon, and then tomorrow it cools off. But anyway, from Austria, Road Wolf. To me, they have kind of a wolf vibe at times, and they still have they play more of a classic, maybe a 70s rock vibe at it in their sound as well. I think this is their second release. I think they have 2 releases out, but from Austria, good stuff here. And then I never had any of this band's material. I've always wanted it, but the OGs are always pricey, so I picked up these issues through High Roller, and I picked up the Viking Do or Die. I mean, I don't mind the cover. I love this style cover, but I think it could have been a little bit more prompt, you know, a little bit more detail. I think, anyway, but you know, would have really popped out more. But Monster album, 80, I think this is 85 this originally came out. 88, actually, Metal Blade. And killer 70s. I don't know why I got 70s on my mind again. But killer's 80s old school thrash sounding. I think these guys did 3 albums. I do have Man of Straw coming, so I'm looking forward to hearing that. But yeah, killer. This put out by High Roller. Some thrash from a band. I believe they're out of Spain. I want to double check, make sure. But yeah, okay. Anyway, the 4th release from Injector, band out of Spain. Old school sounding thrash, German thrash sounding. 4 albums. This is their 4th album called Endless Scorn. I picked this up over at eBay. I kind of came across these guys about a month back, and I really loved what I heard, and I went to search out more of it, and then I finally found their first 3 albums only on CD, and but I believe this is the only one on vinyl. Came out last year, and I bought it over on eBay. It was the only one over there. In addition, when I bought that from the seller, I got a Metal Hammer Spanish version of the magazine with Injector on the cover. So I thought that was pretty cool. So it was kind of nice to have. But yeah, that area, Spain, Greece, Italy, they've been putting out a lot of killer thrash, and Injector's just another one in the line. And then I finally have this. I bought it for a decent price. And I think this is the only one I'm missing on vinyl, actually. Come think of it. In their whole catalog. I do have it. I do believe I have everything on CD finally. And I was missing this Live Firewind and Apotheosis. Live 2012. Came out in 2013. Let's see, what was it? What label put this out? Back on Black, of course. Heavy duty vinyl. Always sounds good. Back on Black does an excellent job. And but yeah, I'm glad to have this on vinyl, and this sounds amazing. Side 3 and 4 to me, I think are a little bit more stronger. Really showcases Gus G's guitar playing, and I mean, but yeah, fantastic early stuff. And then a band out of Slovenia, Vigilance band I came across. This is spoken in, or lyrics singing in their native language of Slovenia. They're just kind of a two-piece. They kind of do, their influences are mostly 70s hard rock, maybe some 80s, but definitely you can hear a little Queensryche-ish in this, but it only has 5 tracks. I mean, music sounds great, I just don't understand the lyrics. But amazing. I don't normally buy albums that are where there's no English vocals, but this was an exception. Good stuff. And then I picked up the first album from a band out of Texas, female-fronted traditional heavy metal band, Mean Mistreater and Razorwire. Their first release. This came out in 2024. Janice Gonzalez is the vocalist, powerhouse. It kind of reminds me of Deborah Levine of Lady Beast in a way, and I'm trying to think of the gal from Solicitor. I can't think of her name right off bat, but kind of similar. Good album. I love traditional heavy metal in the female sense, especially if it's really good, and these are good. They just released their new one, so that's why I backtracked. This is their latest one. Kind of similar cover features, but anyway, Mean Mistreater, killer stuff. And the last one is a band out of Japan. This was released, I believe this is this year, in fact. No, 2022, excuse me. Band called Rising Fall, and Rise or Fall is the album. I believe this is their, I think this is their only release out. They have EPs out with Japanese heavy metal. I mean, if you think of Loudness, EZO, maybe some Bow Wow, and I'm trying Anthem. There you get another in a line. You know, if you like that, I would say Concerto Moon, but Concerto Moon is more progressive power. But anyway, this is good stuff. And anyway, guys, that is all I have from in this episode of What's Spinning. I think it's number 25, if I'm not mistaken. So if you got a comment, leave it below. And if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell. Thank you.